It was an emotional night on Wednesday at McGonigal Hall. Mia Davis breaks the women's record for career points. We'll take you to the game for this historic milestone.
Plus, the men's team is on the road at ECU. We've got a crew in North Carolina, and football has a dozen new players. Head coach Stan Drayton is on the way.
Owl Sports Update is live, and it starts right now. Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Owl Sports Update. She's Emilie Cochrane, I'm Max Gretzula, and a brand new semester comes a brand new anchor duo.
Yes, the rookies are running the desks today, and we're kicking things off with women's basketball, including a recap of a record-breaking night.
Owl Sports Update's very own Lindsay Moppert was on the sidelines Wednesday covering the matchup versus Wichita State. Now to the game action, we'll pick this one up late in the first quarter as Mia Davis uses the window for her record-breaking bucket. She received a well-deserved standing ovation from the Temple faithful and her family as she finished with 18 points to go along with 4 rebounds on the night. Later on, Coranda Pereira buries this triple from beyond the arc for 3 of her 15 points off the bench. Temple moving the ball around the perimeter now, as Kyra Wood gets positioning under the basket off this missed three-point attempt, grabs the offensive rebound, goes back up strong for the putback. Temple scored 35 points in each half and win this one going away 70-49. So she now stands alone at the top. Mia Davis, Temple's greatest women's basketball scorer of all time. It was a long road to get here, but Wednesday night, friends, family, and fans all got the chance to enjoy the moment with her. It was a celebration 5 years in the making on Wednesday night inside McGonigal Hall. With 2 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Mia Davis banked home a 2-point basket to establish herself as the all-time leading scorer in Temple women's basketball history.
It was like a great feeling having the Owl fans in the stands and my family, so it meant everything for them to see me complete or accomplish this big.
Davis is one of the most accomplished athletes to ever step foot on campus. From her first point back in 2017 to her 2,195th record-breaking point on Wednesday night, she has continued to be a staple of excellence on the basketball court. The Shockers were no match for Mia, as she poured in 18 points to go along with 4 rebounds. After the game, she was humble about her historic night, deflecting all of the praise, living in the moment, and putting all the team's success first.
Actually, I just came in the game with an open mind. I really wasn't thinking about this because I know how it can be a lot of pressure on you. So I just came in with an open mind, not thinking about it, just trying to get a win.
The Owls will need to maintain focus while currently holding a 5-3 conference record. With only 8 games left to play, it's even more important that Temple takes advantage of this homestand, as they'll play their second of 3 straight at McGonigal Hall on Sunday afternoon versus East Carolina. This record will be almost unbreakable. Mia still has 8 regular season games to pad the total. Davis notched 1,000 career points in her junior season, though the milestones didn't stop there. A career-high 34 points in a loss to Florida Gulf Coast and her 40th career double-double in a win at Tulsa would add to Davis's long list of career accolades. Perhaps her most important achievement, however, occurred Wednesday night against Wichita State, where she hit 2,195 points to become Temple's all-time leading scorer.
The men had a pretty good night Wednesday near Damian Dunn's hometown at East Carolina. Temple jumped out to an early 7-0 lead against the Pirates. Zach Hicks quickly added to that lead from the three-point line, putting the Owls up 10-2 in the first half. The Owls started off strong in the second, and a basket by Arashma Parks gave the Owls a 33-22 lead. Throughout, ECU was not too far behind, but the Owls were able to hold on to the lead for the entire game. In his homecoming, Damian Dunn scored a game-high of 26 points to lead the Owls to their 5th win within their last 6 games. Temple improves to 2-0 against the Pirates with a score of 71-63 in Greenville. Courts in Session host Ray Dunn made the 7-hour trip down to Greenville, North Carolina for the Owls' latest win and a homecoming for Damian Dunn.
Yes, it was a big win for the Owls in Greenville. They take down ECU 71-63 behind a tenacious defensive effort that held the Pirates to just 32% from the field.
Yeah, I thought we needed a better defensive effort from playing these guys the first time. And
we take pride, a lot of pride in our defense. You know, we feel like we're the best defensive team in the country, to be honest. So
put emphasis on the interior because that's where a lot of teams attack us at inside. And we said, look, we got to fight that post.
That's all the coverage we have from Greenville. We have a feature story coming for you next week about the Owls' own Damian Dunn and his journey from Kinston to Temple. Reporting from Williams Arena on the campus of ECU, I'm Ray Dunn, Owl Sports Update.
Help can come from the most unexpected places. For the men's basketball team, it's been the team's youth and young legs that has sparked the Owls' recent success. 5 wins in their last 6 games. Owl Sports Update's Ricky Turner has more on Temple's rookie squad.
Jeremiah Williams.
Adversity. It is something the men's basketball team knows too well. Dealing with injuries to 2 key starters. The loss of head coach Aaron McKee due to COVID for 2 games, and also 4 games postponed, of course, due to COVID. These issues are enough to derail a season, but not Temple's.
You know, I think they've done a tremendous job of finding out what that role was, where they fit specifically, and then just starring in their role.
Typically, experience leads to wins, but Temple has proven otherwise. And Saturday's game versus SMU was a perfect example, where the Mustangs started 5 seniors compared to Temple's 4 freshmen and 1 sophomore.
Sophomores, and here they are on a 4-game winning streak.
One of those younger players being Nick Jourdain. Recently, he set a career high in scoring with 23 in Temple's win over Tulsa.
My only thing that I feel pressure on is to play my absolute hardest and guard, defend, rebound, block shots.
While the Owls might have hit a couple speed bumps this season, their youth has kept them competitive. Up next, a rematch at home Saturday against the Golden Hurricane, where the Owls can only hope Jourdain and company show off a repeat performance. Reporting for Owl Sports Update, I'm Ricky Turner.
Thanks, Ricky. Coming up, a bunch of new Owls are finding their nest at 10th and Diamond. We will hear from head coach Stan Drayton about his new recruits.
Plus, a national preseason ranking for one spring team. We'll be back in just 90 seconds.
Welcome back to Owl Sports Update. It doesn't look like the Temple lacrosse team will be sneaking up on anyone. The Owls are ranked 22nd in the preseason national poll. They are also picked to finish 2nd in the American, behind national powerhouse Florida. The Owls open with an exhibition game on Saturday at Townsend.
To football, where recently head coach Stan Drayton completed his initial coaching staff with the announcement of 5 new coaches on each side of the ball. Max and I are here to break down a few from this packed and promising roster.
On the offensive side of the ball, Danny Langsdorff was named the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator last month. He'll look to provide a spark to a team that averaged only 16 points per game last season and finished on a 7-game losing streak.
DJ Elliott will lead as the defensive coordinator. He's bringing over 20 years of experience to this Temple football program, and he has a long list of coaching stops, including Kansas, Florida State, Miami, Colorado, and Kentucky.
Next up, in July of 2021, Preston Brown was named the Director of Player Personnel for Temple football. Now, as the running backs coach, he'll hope to improve on a rushing attack that scored only 12 rushing touchdowns on the ground a season ago.
Finally, Antoine Smith was added to the coaching staff as the defensive line coach. He'll be bringing experience from his time coaching at Texas State and JMU. Smith says he's excited to build something special right here on North Broad. And it's not just the coaching staff that has new faces. Wednesday was National Letter of Intent Day, and Temple football has plenty of new Owls. Owl Sports Update's Caden Steele is at the studio set with the breakdown.
Thanks, Emily. Temple signed 12 players to its 2022 recruiting class on Monday. Let's preview a few of the Owl signings that are coming to North Broad in 2022. We're starting with Elijah Warner, a quarterback from Brophy College Prep in Arizona. He's the son of Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner. Just like his father, he understands the X's and O's and possesses accuracy. The Owls improved on defense by adding Aaron Jones, a defensive tackle from Connecticut. He originally committed to Colorado State, but he decided to flip his commitment and followed former Rams defensive line coach Antoine Smith to Temple, back to the offense. Don't be surprised if Warner's thrown to Reese Clark, a tight end from St. Joe's Prep School. Clark joins the tight end room, which returns Jordan Smith and David Martin Robinson. Coach Drayton didn't have much time to put this class together. Remember, he was only hired only about a month ago.
That was the toughest part, just, getting off to such a late start and seeing what was available out there to fit the needs and the profiles that we were looking for. And we just didn't want to get into a position where, we're taking low-hanging fruit, in a rush situation early in the recruiting process. So we just decided to just pump our brakes a little bit, take the guys that we were able to get a great evaluation on. It takes a special kid to want to come to Temple, and we know that. And sometimes we've got to be able to see through the smoke and say, hey, we can develop this kid.
The Owls signed a mix of players who might be building blocks for this new regime at 18th and Diamond for years to come. Max and Emily, back to you on the desk.
Temple is proud of its diversity on campus. With February being Black History Month, we celebrate the importance of having coaches from different backgrounds. Owl Sports Update's Brielle Berry is live from the Leah Center with more. Hey, Brielle.
Thank you, Max. It's been quite a run of hires since the summer, starting with the president to the athletic director, now to the head football coach, all people of color in powerful positions. Temple likes to talk about its diversity, and if it wants to brag, the athletic department is a good place to start. Football, men's basketball, women's basketball, fencing, all the way up to the athletic director at Temple are all people of color. One of the newest members is athletic director Arthur Johnson, who came to North Broad in October from the University of Texas.
It's a humbling and very important position to be in front of these young people who will go out into the world and serve wherever they serve. We have a unique situation with the number of coaches of color that we have.
And some of this has happened pretty quickly and pretty recently. Wingert is the first Black president hired back in June. 4 months after that, he hired Johnson to take over the athletic department. And 2 months after that, Johnson hired Drayton to take over the football program. And there are others who have been at Temple for much longer, like Nikki Frank, who is celebrating her 50th year at Temple. While men's basketball coach Aaron McKee may only be in his 3rd season here on North Broad, McKee still hopes the university continues to diversify.
Hopefully this is something that spurs change throughout the country.
Coaches of color have played a huge role in the success of Temple athletics, and having coaches from different backgrounds allows for the acknowledgement of cultural differences. Of the 12 schools in the American, Temple is the only one to have people of color in the positions of president, athletic director, and head football coach. Reporting live from the Leah Center, I'm Brielle Berry. Max and Emily, back to you on the desk.
Thank you, Brielle. On that note, it's time for our final break of the day.
Coming up, we're seeing double. We take a look at multiple sets of student-athlete sisters, and we'll tell you what's trending in Temple athletics. Stay with us. Welcome back to Owl Sports Update. In the city of brotherly love, Temple is embracing sisterly love. Nearly half of the Owls' 11 total women's teams have a family connection. Owl Sports Update's Jacob Smedley has more.
After high school, student athletes often travel far away from their families to play sports collegiately. But a few Owls have a chance to bring a piece of home with them. Temple has 11 women's varsity teams, and 5 of those teams have sisters on the roster.
I think it makes me feel more comfortable because I feel like a part of me is coming from home to Temple.
Sisters Anna and Elizabeth Novoseltseva of the fencing team were born about 1 year apart. The duo is using their bond to strengthen their skills on North Broad.
Unlike the Novoseltseva sisters, Hannah and Sarah Stallings of the gymnastics team made their decision together. In fact, they both signed their Temple letter of intent on the same day.
Yeah, so I think we're both really supportive of one another, and we try to encourage one another.
Hannah has already been named Conference Co-Gymnast of the Week, and Sarah, in her collegiate debut against Iowa State, tied for first place on the bars. The Big Five might commonly refer to 5 D1 schools in Philadelphia, but at Temple, it's all about the 5 sets of sisters. Reporting for Our Sports Update, I'm Jacob Smedley.
That'll do it for this edition of Our Sports Update. But don't worry, you can follow along with all of our shows and content on our social media platforms at Our Sports Update. And Emily, I don't know about you, but I had a blast today.
I had a blast too, and on Friday, look for Courts in Session on social dropping at noon with Sage Hurley and Ray Dunn. For Max Gretzula and the entire OSU crew, I'm Emilie Cochrane. Have a wonderful day.